Alright, good day, guys. Here is the leveling question, and we're given the interval to be 15 meters. We're given the staff readings. Then, reduced level of station A was given. We have, they said, from the last position of the instrument, two stations B and C with reduced level 50.8 and 51 meters respectively are to be established without disturbing the instrument. That shows you are not going to change the position of the instrument while establishing B and C. Alright, we know the first reading you take on site is backside. In between backside and foresight, you have the intermediate. Then we have what we call the foresight, which is the last reading you take on site, or the last reading you take before changing instrument position. Alright, so let's go. We're not told which one is foresight, backside, or intermediate site here. We're just given all the readings. Alright, how do we go about this? We were told that it's on a continuously slopy ground. It shows if the first one is 1, the second one should be greater than 1. The third one should be greater than the one of 2. So if you look at these readings, you see the first one is less than the second one. The second one is less than the third, but the third is greater than the fourth. That shows at that point there's a change in the position of the instrument. That shows that 2.8 is foresight, while that 1.96 is our backside. Then we continue again till we got to 3.255. You see the next reading is 2.120. That's just another change of instrument there. Then change of instrument position. Then 3.255 is foresight, while 2.120 is a backside. We continue again till we have 3.895 as foresight, 1.685 as backside. Alright, so let's prepare our feed book. We should have a column, obviously, for distance. Then we have for backside, we have for intermediate site, we have for foresight, rise, because we were told to look for, we are to reduce the leveling feed book and look for the staff reading for establishing point B and C. So this time around now, I want to use, you can use height of instrument method, but this one I'm going to use rise and fall method. So the first point is chain 0. Then since the interval is 15, 15, so we start adding 15 up to what we have. Then we have 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, then 120. Alright, the first reading we have, which is 0.895, is our back side. That's the first reading that was taken on site. Then the next one is 1.305. Like I said earlier, that one is intermediate site. Then we have 2.80, because the reason why it's foresight is because if you check the next reading, you see it's lower than that 2.8. It shows there's change of instrument there. That's why that 2.8 is our foresight, while 1.960 is backside, followed by 2.690 is as intermediate site. Then we have 3.255. After that one, you see 2.120. That's just our 3.255 is a foresight, while 2.120 is a backside, followed by 2.825 as intermediate sites, then 3.450 as intermediate. Now we have 3.895 as foresight, because the next reading is less than it. It shows they've changed the instrument position again. Now 2.050 is intermediate, and this is where when station A is. You will be wondering that why did I say it's intermediate? It's because after that station has been observed, they still took 2 more observations. Yes, they still have 2 more staff readings. So, and they didn't change the position of the instrument. The observer did not change the position of the instrument. So that shows this point, 2.05, is still intermediate. Then for station B, we don't know the staff reading. We are going to look for it in the course of this solving. Then we still have another one, station C. They do not tell us the distance, so we are not going to write any distance there for them. We have station C. Now, we were given the reduced level of station A to be 50.250, the one of station B 50.800, the one of station C is 51.00. Alright? Now, what other things do we need? Don't forget, we are going to look for this staff reading at B and this one at C. So let this one be X, then let this one be Y. Good. You were not given the first reduced level, but don't forget, when in my previous videos, I've explained explicitly how you do rise and fall, how you use rise and fall to reduce leveling feed book and that of height of instrument. Alright, this value here, this one minus this, if it is negative, it is fall. If it's positive, it is rise. Then this one minus this, that's a complete setup. So this value minus this one, and the answer is minus 0.410, and that is 4. Right? Then 1.305 minus 2.8 is still 4. Then 1.96 here minus 2.690 is still 4. That's 0.730. It's negative. Then 2.690 minus 3.225, 255 rather. This one is 0.565. All right, that's one setup. This is one setup. All right, we have change of point here, CP1. Another change of point here. We have another change of point here. All right. So 2.12 minus 2.825. That's 0.705. 2.825 minus this one is minus 0.625. Then we have 3.45 minus 3.895. That's minus 0.0445. And if you subtract this one minus this, we have this one to be 0. It's still negative. That's why you are seeing them under 4. If it's positive, it will be under rise. Now, how do we know the rise and fall here? Since we don't have these values here, you don't need to panic. This reduced level here minus this other one, if it is positive, it is rise. If it's negative, it is fall. So 50.8 minus 50.25, you agree with me that it's going to be positive. And the answer is plus 0.550. Then this one too, 51.00 minus 50.8, you agree with me, it's still positive. That's why this one is this. Now, good. What? We now need this X and Y, right? Don't forget that 2.050 minus X is what will give us 0.550. Meaning X equals to 2.050 minus 0.550. And you will agree with me that the answer is 1.50. So the value here is 1.50. That is the staff reading at station B. To get the staff reading at station C now, X minus Y is what is going to give us this 0.2. I mean, X minus Y will give us 0.2. The reason I'm not putting, the reason I didn't put the sign is because it's positive. Assuming it's negative, obviously, I'm going to put the negative value. But I know the value of X is what I'm looking for. So X minus 0.200 will give me Y. So Y equals to, what is the value of X? X is 1.50 minus 0.20, and that is 1.30. So this is 1.300. Alright, because we were given all these ones in 3 decimal places. Now, we've gotten the value of X, we've gotten the value of Y. Good. What is the next thing to do? From here, we can decide to use arithmetic check to get the first reduced level. What is the summation of the backside? If you add all these backside together, it's going to give you 6.660. The summation of the four sides is, that is, if you add all of these together, you are going to get 11.250. Then, what of all the rice? If you add all these ones, if you add them together, these two, we have 0.750. Then, if you add the fall, that is all of this, you are going to get 5.340. Correct. Now, what we do next now is this. We now need, okay, don't forget arithmetic check. Arithmetic check. We have summation of backside minus summation of foresight equals to summation of rise minus summation of fall equals to last reduced level minus the first reduced level. We know the summation of backside to be 6.660, the one of foresight 11.25 equals summation of rise 0.750, fall, this one. Then we know the last reduced level to be 51.00, but we don't know the first reduced level. So if you subtract these two, you have minus 4.590. These two also will give you minus 4.590. Then what do we do next? What we do is this. You know this one equals to 51 minus first reduced level. Don't forget, we need the first reduced level now. So if you make first reduced level subject of the formula, you have it to be 51.00 plus 4.590. And that is going to give us 55.590. Alright, so we come back to our table. We have the first reduced level now, which is this one, to be 55.590. Good. Now that we've gotten that, our problems, like that, most of our problems have been solved. To get the reduced level for the rest one now, just the normal we will do rise and fall. So this 55.59, that is this, you will be doing like cumulative frequency. Alright, so this one now minus this. The reason why you are subtracting this from it is because it's under 4. If it is under rise, you add. So this one minus this value here, we have 55.180. Then this 55.180 minus this next reading, we have 53.685. Minus 0, that is this value here now, minus 0.73, we have 52.955. This one just got minus 0.565, that's 52.390. Then minus 0.705, we have 51 point what? That's 685, yes. Minus this 0.625, we have 51.060. Minus 0.445, we have 50.615. Yes. So to now cross check, this 50.615 minus 0.365 must give you this 50.250. You know you were given this one, so you have this one correct now. So if you add this one and this together, you have this, obviously. Then this reduced level at station A plus this rise here will give you this last one. Then that is all. You have all your readings now. The table is complete. So maybe for formality sake, you might want to check you might want to perform arithmetic check again. Yes, to be sure. Don't forget, you see this is the formula here. So the backside is 6.660 minus 11.250 equals 0.750 minus 5.340 equals 51.00 minus 55.590. So this one will give us minus 4.590. This one too will give us minus 4.590. While this other one too will give us minus 4.590. It shows our check is what? Okay. You can be rest assured now that you've gotten all you were looking for or you were asked to find. You have the staff readings at station B and C, then all the reduced levels you have them, and literally that is all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Everything is complete now. So that's all. Thank you guys once again. If this video has benefited you in one way or the other, what will it cost you to just like, subscribe, share it with your friends? You know, it's gonna go a long way. Thank you. God bless you.